Nicco Collins is out for week number 10, which means that Tank Dell is potentially headed to the moon.
To the moon.
And if you've got yourself a little wide receiver dilemma and Tank Dell is involved, I am here to help save the day and get you into a position where you can win your league in week number 10. So buckle up, Buttercup, the Fantasy Football Show, week 10, Monday through Friday edition. 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday edition. Tank Dell edition begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is bad news for anybody that has Nicco Collins, obviously. But Nicco Collins is out for week number 10. He will not play, which means that Tank Dell season is back on game on. Not that it was game off, but definitely game on. Maybe
To
Saturn material this week. Tank Dell coming off a monster performance last week. And I just feel like there's a real opportunity for him to take that even next big consistency type step, because rookies are up and down. We talk about it all the time, that a rookie's going to go a lot like this all season long. Then they're going to hit that rookie wall some point around week number 10, 11, 12. His might have been 8, 9, whatever. And this is that rookie wall he's been entering, and he broke through, and he's ready to skyrocket up. The good rookie wide receivers break through the wall. The good rookie wide receivers don't just level back out after they break through the wall. They go upward. So I'm really hoping that this next step here is one of consistency. Put Nicco on the bench for now. He's still a great wide receiver. He's still very, very solid wide receiver 3 material when he's back. I'm not suggesting he isn't, but Tank Dell season is here and in full effect. Appreciate you all. File on in. Let's hit the news. Your boys got more for you. We're not just stopping there. I'll put that Tank Dell business in the corner there. This one right here, Kenneth Walker, full participant in Friday's practice, will play week 10 against the Commanders. A lot of people are freaking out about Walker, and for good reason, because the production hasn't been there the way we've wanted walking into the last couple of weeks, right? The touchdown production, like I warned months ago, or a month ago, was needed for him to do electric things from a fantasy football perspective. Being a top 5 running back required touchdowns, but he was getting it every week, week after week, near the goal line, red zone work. He was there. They leaned on him. At the 5-yard line, it's going to Kenneth Walker. What we want Bijan to get inside the 5-yard line, inside the 10-yard line, first and 10, first and goal from the 8. Anywhere in that territory, it should be 3 straight Bijan Robinson runs. And quietly, maybe we would run it a 4th time. So you're really playing with 4 downs to get Bijan Robinson into the end zone. It's the most simple equation in the history of mankind. But Kenneth Walker, that's the formula that Pete Carroll and the Seahawks have used. You're inside the 5, you're inside the 10s, first and goal. It's first and goal from the 8. It's whatever. It's going to go to Kenneth Walker 2-3 times, and we're going to get in the end zone. And I believe this can still happen. This can still occur. But it doesn't mean there isn't concerns about Geno, the offense moving the football. And so we're here to literally debate, I think, all show long, because people will have questions all show long. Do we want Pollard or do we want Kenneth Walker? What if we could trade Kenneth Walker for Tony Pollard right now? Tony Pollard, who is also a very, very doubted player right now. People want to get rid of Pollard left and right. People want to get rid of Walker left and right. Are either the answer? Are we concerned about both these guys, and should we be going after Achane, who is not that attainable now that we're literally 1 week away from his return, as he sits on his bye week, healthy, ready to go? But people get punched in the mouth when their plan doesn't go as planned. And now an owner that might have Achane and had a plan to wait is punched in the mouth. They can't afford another L, and so they will trade a now healthy Walker for, they'll give you Achane for your Walker. I much prefer Achane over both these guys. But that doesn't mean that I'm down on Walker, that I'm running away from Walker. When I created a video about a month ago saying trade Walker for Eckler right now, I got a little bit of pushback on that because Eckler, you know, what has he done? He's injured. What are we doing? Why are we giving up on Walker? He's scoring touchdowns. He's looking good. I still love Walker. I'm not trading Walker low. I'm just saying there are certain places to get out of this situation. Walker for Achane. That's going to continue to be a story I tell. Just like Eckler was better than Walker to me at the point in time where you could actually trade for Eckler when he was 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, in some cases a week and a half away from coming back. People were a little reactive. But we do need to realize that there is a point in time where running away from this man, selling him cheap is not the answer. You have to at some point buckle down, ride it out, and say, look, he's amazing and capable of being a bounce back in the degree we look at it from his recent play, a bounce back and win a league player from his current value. And so if you're looking at a freaking Walker owner right now who's petrified and his name is Peter, and he says, I want to get rid of Walker, you step up and say, my name's Bob, I'll take him right off your hands. What are we talking about? How about a couple wide receiver 3s? How about a low-end wide receiver 2 and an extra tight end that I've got on my roster? I've got this guy, Kincaid, and I've got Andrews. Now I can maneuver. And some of you that have double tight ends right now in a one tight end league, or double quarterbacks, even a Kyler Murray in another quarterback in a one QB league, it is time to bounce out of that situation and pounce onto the let's beef up the lineup using the depth. Look, it's week 10. And while it's great to have backup quarterbacks, while it's great to have backup tight ends, and you've got little By-Mageddon action going on here in week number 10, shall I say, this is actually By-Mageddon. The other bye week that was much more, it felt intrusive to our lineups, was actually the mini By-Mageddon. This is the real By-Mageddon because the 4 big teams on a bye are the big 4 teams on a bye. Okay, these are the big teams. You've got at the bottom of the screen here, if I don't knock it off the screen, there's KC, the Rams, the Dolphins, the Eagles. We're talking about some of the biggest fantasy football assets in fantasy football are all out on a bye. This is By-Mageddon. And so there's opportunity for people to knee-jerk react out of a situation and get you a little buy low action. And so we need to look for that at every turn. So in general, in a nutshell, Walker concern? Absolutely. Walker sell high? Absolutely. Walker sell medium into a JT in something, into a, I don't know, you could throw 100 different examples my way, a Kyron and something. And when I say something, it doesn't necessarily have to be some glorious upgrade that everybody feels is glorious. It could be glorious to you. You could say, hey, I really like Davante Adams right now, and I've got this wide receiver over here that I think this owner probably feels is better. And I could trade my player for Davante Adams and get them to swap Walker and Achane. Get them to swap Walker and JT. Get them to swap Walker and Eckler. It's creative 2-for-2s that help you dominate trades. And if you aren't doing 2-for-2s right now, 2-for-1s, 1-for-2s, more so than the 1-for-1s, you're missing the opportunity to get the other owner thinking about what if. If you say, hey, I'll trade you my Walker for your one player, let me go after your JT. Walker for your Achane straight up. That might not work because you're putting the focal point on the player and the spotlight on Walker, and they evaluate the trade and say, okay, this guy, but Walker's been playing bad. There's nothing else in this trade that's making me feel good. I'm going to go ahead and back out. But if you start throwing in different pieces to it, it dilutes the responsibility of Walker in the trade, and then the what-if scenarios start racing through the head of the other owner, and they lighten the pressure on Walker to come through and be the guy that he needs him to be. That's the design of 2-for-2s. That's why 2-for-2s win leagues right now, right here, right now. Kenneth Walker, buy low, hold, sell high. He's a combination of all of that. It just depends on your vantage point. Deebo Samuel, as we've been talking about all week, is one of the best wide receiver buy lows. Coming off the bye week, he's healthy. This offense, this Niner offense, needs something to click. And if you think they aren't looking at this guy to say, hey, short yardage specialist, why don't you come in and save Brock Purdy's rear end, who's looking more like Brock Turdy every chance he gets. He goes out there and doesn't perform well. A lot of long passes have been picked off, tipped. Things are maybe getting figured out, or he was concussed and his coach threw him on the field, concussed in the next game, and then he got concussed at the end of that game. So either his coach is incompetent in putting him out on the field when he's not fully able to throw. If he's concussed and he's out there throwing passes concussed, and don't tell me Shanny doesn't know this or doesn't know that. I believe he got concussed at the end of the last game, his second concussion, and he walked off the field. We didn't hear a single thing about it. He continued to play. He grabbed his head, and he was on the ground going like this, and no one checked him out. So Shanahan's either incompetent in terms of protecting his players, or Brock Purdy really did play poorly, and we're worried about him getting figured out. But here's the key, is this man right here, short yardage stuff. Shanahan is the master of masking the deficiencies of his quarterback, and he did it with Jimmy G for a while. And so if Purdy does have some deficiencies right now, right here, right now, in this moment in time, and he could get over it, guess what Shanahan's going to do? Play designs for Deebo. Short little slant routes, little like trips right, screen. Deebo takes a behind the line of scrimmage reception all the way to the end zone, 45 yards. That's what this man can do. And he's so good at yak. He's so good at taking a football himself to the end zone. And guess what happens? That's a touch, unless it's behind Brock Purdy. That little tiny pass at the line of scrimmage, that 0-yard reception, is going to go 40 yards and give Brock Purdy a touchdown. So Brock Purdy doesn't even have the worst value walking into this game. I truly believe Shanahan will utilize this man a lot going forward. And as long as he's healthy, and we're hearing he is, he's going to be an absolute, I think, savior to some people that are buying him at wide receiver 2 value. And I think they get something along the lines of at least a low-end wide receiver 1. Jair Alexander is doubtful for the Steelers game. This is good news for any Steelers wide receiver, Deontay or Pickens, and really good for the entire offense. So now we don't have as much of a fear of lockdown coverage or some sort of, okay, well, I should start Pickens here or I should start Deontay, but I'm really afraid of the matchup. This is very, very good news for any of you that have those Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers. This one right here is about Jamar Chase. He is questionable for week 10. Higgins is out. This puts Joe Burrow in a little bit of a dilemma because he's got Boyd, he's got Mixon, and he's got maybe Jamar Chase. And if Jamar Chase goes, it feels like the verbiage Jamar Chase is using, very concerning verbiage. And let me even read what Jamar Chase is saying. And it really is concerning the way that he worded this. Because if you were not questionable in a very negative way, you would say something like, I'll be out there. You'll see me out there. I'll be fine. I'll be out there. But Jamar Chase instead said this when he was asked about his injury. And it's very concerning. He said that he was, let me see if I can find the exact quote from Jamar. It was very, very, what's the word? I don't know. Telling, if you will. He says right here, in my head, I'm playing week 10. In my head, I'm playing week 10. Like that's as if like someone's telling you you're not, and in your fairy tale world, you're going to figure out a way to play. You're going to figure out a way to play. This doesn't sound good. I just got to be there for my teammates right now. That's not good either. I just got to, like, I'm going to be half-ass, but I got to be there for my teammates. And I'm not ripping on him for trying to play. I'm merely talking about our fantasy football outcomes, okay? I'm not trying to say anything negative about this man's desire to play injured and all that. So please don't take it negative towards Jamar. I'm just saying we're screwed with this Jamar Chase week number 10. You got to start him. If he's playing, you got to start him. What are you going to do? Sit him on the bench and all this is a ruse? And they're trying to mess with the media, trying to mess with their opponent, trying to figure out a way to make this feel like he's not going to play. Then he goes out and balls out. So you got to play him. We're screwed in a sense because you have to play him. But this does not sound good. I just have to be there for my teammates right now, and if I can go, I'm going to go, Chase said. In my head, I'm playing, so until further notice, we'll see. That's not a very encouraging thing, and it sucks. It is what it is. Injuries have been just ravaging our fantasy football lineups all season long. So what's my take on this? You're starting him. What are you going to do, sit Jamar Chase? You can't. You can't. You got to ride and die with Jamar. 286 of you in here, only 44 thumbs up. Can we punch that number up into the 2s for me? Appreciate you all. You guys all absolutely rock. Thank you so much. David Montgomery, removed from the Week 10 injury report. This is not something where people should have a knee-jerk reaction to sit Jahmyr Gibbs. Okay? I do believe he'll have a good day. I do believe they'll use him near the goal line. I do believe he is the touchdown specialist, especially anywhere inside the 10-yard line. But that doesn't mean that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be eliminated from the equation. They've already said they need to get him the football. The media's pretty much hyped this whole, like, what a great selection, what great coaching, what a great prospect. You guys, the Detroit Lions and the Brass, were right to go after this guy. The wheels have been getting greased all week long. There's no way, I believe, that Campbell and this staff are going to just say, let's pull back the reins again, when they saw what he can do. And not to mention, they've injured this man twice. They've broken Monty twice. If they do, for whatever reason, come out the gate in week number 10 and say, feed all of it to Monty, he'll get injured again, and we'll be right back to square one where Gibbs is getting all the work. I don't think they're going to do that. I think their long-term outlook is, let's protect Monty a little bit. Let's stop breaking him. And let's use this weapon we have that's an absolute gem. And let's get both of them out there on the field at the same time. This is not an indicator to go put Jahmyr Gibbs on your bench, okay? Gibbs to the moon. Gibbs is going to have a day. I'm starting Gibbs everywhere. This one right here, Vikings listed Justin Jefferson as questionable. This was an odd one when it came out, and I don't know why he's not doubtful. Like, why is he questionable? So a lot of ears perked up here. A lot of people got on the edge of their seat. He's not playing this week. I can't guarantee it. I can almost guarantee he's not playing this week. And here is this little piece of info from Adam Schefter. Players ruled out for week number 10 include Nicco Collins, Damian Pierce. You got T. Higgins up in this mug. Zay Jones up in here. Treylon Burks on this list. And Kendre Miller is on this list. David Bell. Trying to see if there's anybody else of relevance. DeMarcado is out. Mac Hollins is out. That is your list. You don't see JJ on that list. It's weird that he's not on that list. It's weird that they're calling him questionable. That's great news for maybe his next contest, but I still think it's hard to read the tea leaves on that situation. So hang tight. And then we got, there's a lot of coach speak that is just unbelievable. Like, hey, so-and-so playing. He's questionable. Okay, is he doubtful? He's doubtful, but he could play. Or he's questionable, but he's out. Like, some of these indications are not, and designations are not super accurate. You need to kind of need to read between the lines, and it's kind of hard. Gibbs for DK, Wild, keep Gibbs, says Nathan. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of Gibbs. I don't know why people are getting rid of Gibbs right now. It's that fear of something falling apart. It's a self-sabotage, really, is what it is. Appreciate all your super chats rolling in. Bryson with the first super of the day gets a standing O. That's my boy. Bryson, appreciate you. 10-man, 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Burrow, JT, Gibbs, Hall, Tyreek, Ridley, bench, Christian Watson, Barkley, Mayfield, Spears. Any moves? Taysom Hill, Tyreek, Ridley, Gibbs. I mean, it's a good team. I don't know that you're going to sell anybody high on this roster at all to your liking. And you got Achane coming back unless you're selling Tyreek. But with Achane coming back, why not let this team ride? I say stand down.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
The only thing you could do is maybe trade one player we like for another player we like. And I think you just let it ride on this one. There's nothing really on the bench. Like, Watson's not getting you anything right now. That your bench doesn't do anything in terms of upgrading you. I just kind of hang tight. I like Gibbs. I like Hall. I like Burrow. I love Tyreek. I like Ridley. Achane coming back. Hill's playing like a monster. There's really no reason to move anything. Alex M in the building. London or Ridley and Bijan or Gibbs. You got to go Gibbs for now. But, hopefully we live to regret that. I hope I'm here. I hope I'm here just absolutely ecstatic that you started Gibbs and Bijan went nuts. No offense, Alex. I'm just saying I want to be there. I want to be in that place sometime soon where we're so excited about Bijan. But right now, Gibbs does feel better. Ridley over London for me, but that's certainly debatable. I mean, that could go 100 different directions. I mean, both of them could play very poorly. Both of them could play great. One of them could go nuts and the other could do nothing. I tend to lean toward Ridley because I feel like he's just the more capable, I think, offense right now to get him the football. Got offered Chase, Pollard, and Kyren for Gibbs, JT, Garrett Wilson. I'd rather have Chase, Pollard, and Kyren by, I don't want to say quite a bit, but yes, by a lot. I just think that side feels really nice. Tank, Deontay, JSN, or Hollywood Brown, your wide receiver 2. We're going Tank Dell, baby. We got no Nicco. We got Tank Dell ready for his moon shuttle. Okay? Also, K9 or Aaron Jones. I mean, probably Aaron Jones is a little bit safer, but K9's got probably a touch more upside with just more risk. I almost feel like that you can't sit one of those guys. If you're required to sit one of K9 or Aaron Jones, you need to make a trade to beef up something. Because it's great depth, but I mean you're in week 10, man. I'd start beefing up the lineup. Is Amari plus Ridley for Deebo too much? Amari plus Ridley for Deebo, yes, because Amari and Deebo should be an even trade anyway. Ridley is somebody that you're throwing him in, and the owner he barely even values the Ridley addition. So don't trade him because you're trading him as if he's an add-on. Amari and Deebo are very close. I like a Deebo more than Amari. I don't know that I'm throwing in a freaking Ridley. Ford or Charbonnet? You got to go Ford. I have Walker. Somebody needs to go. Appreciate you, Chubbs. You're the man. Chubbs to the moon. Ford's a pretty decent play. We got Mike Powers with a $20 hauler. We got G Money with a $20 hauler. The dollar bills to the left go to G Money. The dollar bills to the right are going to be for Mike.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Putting the $20 hauler bunk beds together on that. Hey, Smitty, trade Gibbs and Christian Watson for Tony Pollard. I'm going to say, like, this could go either way, G-Money. I tend to, let's get the chat to vote on this one. I tend to feel like I keep the Gibbs side. But at the same time, I really think Tony Pollard is a great buy low right now. The problem is you're like one or two bad games away from them starting to, like, do something like run 2 RBs, but Gibbs is in a committee anyway, so I guess I lean toward Pollard if you need a mix up, a shake up, but like Gibbs is hard to trade. So chat, what do you guys say on this one? Gibbs, Pollard, Gibbs. I guess if you need a shake up, I'd lean toward Pollard. But I mean, if things are going good in this particular league, why change it? Like Gibbs is certainly capable, man. He's certainly capable. He's such a monster. But I don't know. Pollard is the lone gunman. It feels like the better move, but a week from now we could regret that. Pollard feels like the safer. He's the running back 1 right now. He's getting all the work, and the offense finally got fixed. He wasn't really a part of it, but that's good news. The offense is humming. I traded Kenneth Walker and Deebo Samuel for Austin Eckler and Christopher Watson. You mean Christian Watson? Christian Watson and Eckler for Walker, Deebo, Samuel. That one's tough because look, Deebo's a lot better than Christian Watson right now. A lot better. It is what it is. But Eckler's, I think, a lot safer than Kenneth Walker. I probably lean toward the Eckler side, but that other side's pretty even. I'd almost say that's an even Steven trade. Thank you, Powers. Thank you, G Money. And if the chat could vote on that one, do you like the Deebo side the Deebo and Eckler. I'm sorry, the Deebo and Walker or the Eckler Christian Watson. Can we get a vote on that, please, from the chat? Thank you. Appreciate you. Kyron, Amon-Ra, Bijan, Gibbs, Walker, Hollywood, Dell, Pickens, Downs, Ridley, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. PPR crazy bonuses for 40-point plays. So Amon-Ra. So you're going Walker. So two running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. I'm probably going Dell and Pickens over Dell and... Well, Dell and Hollywood might be safer. Dell and Pickens is higher risk, higher reward. Pick your poison there with what you need given. I mean, the fact that you get big points for... I probably say give me Pickens. Dell and Pickens for big points. Walker, Gibbs, and Bijan. Oh, you got Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra and Dell. Those are your 2 wide receivers. Amon-Ra and Dell. Walker, Gibbs, and probably Bijan. Amon-Ra, Dell, Walker, Gibbs, and probably Bijan. If you want to sit Bijan for Pickens or Ridley, I mean, be my guest, but I don't know that I could do that. That's a tough one. Damn, bro. First of all, why don't you make some trades, man? You got enough to couple together to get one upgrade. You got to make some trades. You got to try and get like a Pickens and a. I mean, you could easily trade. I think you could easily trade one of those RBs upgrade using like a Pickens or throwing in somebody. Would you trade Olave and Downs for Montgomery and Pickens? I would rather have Montgomery and Pickens. Monty's going to be steady as much as we don't want to admit that as Gibbs fans. I mean, that's okay if he's steady. Traded Walker, Sharps, and Rice for Ford, Nakua, Muth. I think it's safe. I think Puka Nakua and Ford's pretty good for a Walker Sharp swap, but it certainly could go either way. I don't think either one of you got each other. I think it's a pretty fair trade. I think I think Ford's good enough that Puka's nice to get into that wide receiver spot. Start Ridley or Tank Dell. I think you got to go Tank Dell with no Nicco Collins, my guy, but I do love both of them. Did I lose? Trade K9, Garrett Wilson, Jahan Dotson for JT, Terry, and Higgins. I don't think you lost. I just think it's kind of an even type move. I mean, JT I'd rather have than K9 at this moment in time just because of the uncertainty with the workload divide in Seattle with the potential injuries. But that doesn't mean that K9 can't be back into the top 5 graces in one game. You know, after today, he could be top 5 again to everybody, and JT could come out putter and have Moss come in and get half the work and the touchdown, and then we're like, JT sucks. This could swing so quickly in either direction. I'd probably say give me the K9 Garrett Wilson side and Dotson. Dotson's been playing great. I love Garrett Wilson still, and I still believe in K9. Give me that K9 side, baby. Carlos got offered Pollard for Javonte McLaurin. I would take Pollard and buy low on that. I'm very, very okay with buying Pollard at that value. I think Pollard's still very solid. 10-team, 0.5 PPR. Prescott. That's why I told G Money I probably lean Pollard because I would buy Pollard. I like Pollard. Prescott, Fields, Howell, running backs, Eckler, Achane, Javonte, Najee, Amon-Ra, JJ, Tank, Dell, Godwin. Any moves to make? Dak's okay, but would I love to trade Dak straight across for Tua? I probably would. I know Dak's been playing well, but I'd probably do that. Prescott and, like a Javonte Prescott in a potential... I mean, I'd even trade Tank Dell on the high with Dak to get into Mahomes or Hurts or Josh Allen. And, you got to give up a Godwin. I would do that. Those are all solid moves. Mahomes is never going to be cheaper. I'm not saying every owner of Mahomes is going to get rid of him for what I'm talking about, but somebody will because I see it on the daily. Eckler, Achane's unbelievable. I'm trading Najee and Tank. I'm trading Najee and Godwin. Najee and Godwin for Adams. That might work. For JT, for Hall. Breece Hall has struggled. I think you could probably use Najee in that capacity. Keaton Mitchell, who is questionable this week. Spears or Charbonnet. I mean, if Mitchell plays, I guess Mitchell. If not, you got to go Sharps. But Mitchell is very questionable right now. They want to get him more work, but he's banged up. So we're not sure if he's going to even get a lot of work. Also have Devonta Smith. says Jared. Jared, I have no idea what we're talking about at that point. Prescott, Devonta Smith. Okay, so you forgot one of your best players. I got it. You're fine, bro. You're fine. Oh, God. Yeah. You're good. You're good to go. I'm still making a Najee Tank Dell move, especially making a Najee Tank Dell move because Tank Dell's got a lot of value all of a sudden. But try and keep Tank. Najee and Godwin. Go get one player. One player. You know, or upgrade your quarterback. Najee, Godwin, and Prescott for Mahomes. And then go win your league. It's that simple. It's that simple, bro. It's right in front of your face. You can do it. I believe in you. $10 hauler. $10 haulers get moonshots. Alex dropping a 20 wad. You're coming next, Alex. Appreciate you. With the bye week, currently 5-4, starting Howell JSN. That's rough. It's going to be a rough week for you. You're going to get like 60 points this week. Mahomes, Hill, JJ, Kelsey, Swift, Higgins. Team dropped Gabe Davis because of the dud drop Fields. I don't know. I mean, like maybe Pierce right now for Gabe Davis. I'm not saying. I just hate dropping a quarterback when, like, if Mahomes goes down, at least you'll have him. But you have Howell, though. I guess, man. I don't know. Pierce is out, so maybe you drop Pierce for Gabe Davis. Chat, you dropping Fields or Pierce? I'm dropping Pierce, I think. I think it's safer, given your situation. This one's a $20 hauler from Alex.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Alex, my boy. Hey, Smitty, 6-3, first place. I'm in an 8-man PPR league in weak at tight end and strong everywhere else. Should I trade Lamar and Eckler for Hawkinson and Burrow? No, bro, not even close. I have Gibbs, Achane, Hall, Aaron Jones, Schultz. You're fine at tight end. You're fine at tight end. Schultz has been playing great, and absolutely not. Don't ruin a good thing, bro. You got Eckler, you know, and Lamar's playing fine. And Burrow's going to maybe struggle this week. Lamar's going to outscore Burrow this week. Absolutely not. Don't try and break what's not broken, bro. You're trying to crack it in half. You got that self-sabotage going on. I appreciate your $20 hauler. You're going to the moon, and so is your team if you leave it alone. Guillermo, Stroud, Kamara, Olave, Watson for Allen, Pacheco, Adams, Deebo. Stroud, Kamara, Olave, Watson for Josh Allen, Pacheco, Adams, and Deebo. I'm going to take that Josh Allen side. That's a lot of firepower. The chat can weigh in, but I think that's a really good side. They're both solid, but traded Gibbs and Addison for Pacheco and Pittman. I'd rather have Gibbs and Addison, to be honest with you, but it's not bad. I mean, it's not like you're taking a lap over it. Dell or Hopkins, give me Dell this week, but you know, we'll see what Hopkins does again. I mean, he feels like he's going to be hit and miss. I don't know. Flex Gus or Flowers. I would go Gus bust this week. Do I trust Connor? We need more information before we can say we trust Connor. It sounds like he's going to go. Gus bust feels safer. And how do we feel about trading away Gibbs and Olave for Diggs? I would take Diggs. That is a good move. It sucks to do it. Like Gibbs and Olave is very nice, but Diggs is a bigger gun. I probably would take the Diggs side. But it's very, very close. I like Olave a lot, but he is kind of like a little bit more in flux right now. So, you know, and so is Gibbs to a little bit of a degree. You know, we still love Gibbs. We're not getting rid of him. We're not benching him or anything like that. But like Diggs is for sure. $20 hauler from Alonzo.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Alonzo, my boy. Hey, Smitty, 3-6, 12-team PPR. Howell, Fields, Bijan, K9, Achane, AJB, Evans, DJ Moore, Pickens, Rice, Kincaid, and he moves. Bijan, K9, H. You got good running backs. I mean, let's hope Bijan comes in strong for you, bro. AJB, Evans, DJ Moore, it's a very good team. Bijan for JT, and if you got to give up Pickens or something, I'd probably do it. Bijan for Pollard. I don't mind you hanging on to Bijan either. I'm just trying to give you an idea if that's where you're kind of wanting to go. Bijan and DJ. Look, you could even trade with K9 and Achane. You could really trade for a Cooper Kupp using Bijan. Pickens and Bijan for Kupp. Pickens and Bijan for Diggs. Pickens and Bijan for Chase. Bijan alone for Chase, who's injured. DJ Moore and Evans for Chase. DJ Moore and Pickens. DJ Moore and Evans for Cooper Kupp potentially. I think you get another big gun without touching K9, Achane, or better yet, a quarterback upgrade. Why don't we do that? What about Bijan and Howell for Mahomes? You know, you figure out your situation, your backup, your quarterback situation this week. I don't know what's on waivers, but utilize the Chiefs being on a bye and that advantage, or Hurts being on a bye, and try and use Bijan to upgrade and beef up your quarterback. That's probably what I would do. You could use DJ Moore or Evans as well using Fields. You know, Fields is on a bye, Mahomes is Fields is on a bye. Fields is on an injury bye this week, and his team's already played. But like what I'm saying is, with Mahomes out and Fields already played and his team already played and him not playing, that probably feels like to that owner it's a wash, right? So if you give him Fields and Evans for Mahomes, maybe he does it. But I have a feeling you might have to use Bijan. But I think that's probably where I would focus, is trying to get that quarterback upgrade, my guy. I just feel like that would be massive for your team. This one right here, pick one, Monty or Aaron Jones for Olave. Pick one, Monty or Aaron Jones for Olave. I would probably say I like Aaron Jones and Monty more, but if you need to go after a wide receiver, I suppose I'd trade Aaron Jones for Olave if I need to make a move, just because I think Monty's going to be pretty steady. But that could go either way. I kind of feel like you can get a Kupp or a Jamar Chase right now, injured, you know. Jamar Chase injured might be cheaper. Kupp, I think, is very doubted. Does Tank Dell have more upside than Ayuk with Nicco out? I would say so, but they're both pretty good plays. Again, I think Shanahan's going to design plays for his wide receivers to get Purdy back on track. Got to start two, Bijan, Javonte, James Conner. Probably Javonte and Bijan until Conner proves himself. I'm not like fully on board that situation until we see it happen, my broski. I'd be a little bit shy about putting Conner into my lineup. Call your boy. Appreciate your $5 hauler. Not sure if you and Lego are taking requests, but is it possible to get a bat signal out for T-Law this week? I need him to have a big day. I think we could probably manage that. All right, bat signals out for Bijan still until further notice, and we put T-Law on the list for you. Appreciate you. Call your boy. I can't take every request for that, though, because, you know, that's got to be... I did that one for you, pal. But, you know, we gotta really have a dire need, and I don't know that the entire fantasy world's in a dire need for T-Law to step up as much as we are for, like, Bijan and other guys. But we'll do it this one time. Appreciate you. Call your boy. Cooper has not had a couple good weeks. Do we know why? You talking about Cooper Kupp? I mean, Stafford has been injured. Kupp didn't just struggle during that time frame, but you know, Puka and him rotate. It's just been a perfect storm. But I'm definitely buying low on Cooper Kupp at his current asking price. Would I buy Cooper Kupp now with all the risk involved and everything we're worried about with Stafford? Would I buy Cooper Kupp at his former value? No, but his newfound value, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. We'll do a brief phone call sesh.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show brought to you by Christopher Smith. $430 super chatter and one single live stream in the month of October, but this is for the month of October and November, so I'm going to change this over to November. So until somebody knocks him off with a higher super chat, Christopher Smith will remain the sponsor of the phone line. Wheel Snipe Selly, a.k.a. Wheel Snipe City, was a close second. Actually, he held the title for a little while. So Wheel Snipe City to the moon. And I don't know if you guys noticed, there's a Wheel Snipe City emoji. So go. I don't know how long it's going to stay there. Wheel Snipe City, that will stay there for as long as you're ultra active. I'll tell you that. But go check out the Wheel Snipe City emoji, and please drop it for Wheel Snipe City so he can see his emoji in action. Phone callers, dial in if you got anything. We'll do quick 30-second phone calls. No one's immune to the 30 seconds. Nobody. Marsmen obviously get in before anybody else. That's why we where's my Marsman cards? I don't know where my Marsman card is. Marsman get in quickly, but everybody's 30 seconds. Nobody's immune to it. So let's try this one right here. 301 call. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Pedro.
Pedro, can you turn down the background noise? I think you got the show in the background and it's kind of blaring. Yeah. Pedro, where are you calling from?
Maryland.
All right, Pedro, what can I do for you?
So just a quick question. So I've been debating to get Derrick Henry. I have DeAndre Swift and Jacobs, but I don't know. I kind of want to trade Swift for Derrick Henry. I don't know how that sounds.
I mean, look, Swift for Henry is pretty even. I mean, Swift is kind of tailing off a little bit. Henry is an injury concern, but he's kind of like delivered. You know, he's kind of finding a way, whether it's like passing touchdowns. I mean, he's been doing fairly well considering. So I'm okay with swapping this out. I mean, I do believe that Swift is slightly on the decline. Maybe he bounces through, like I said, some sort of, even though he's not a rookie, he's hitting a equivalent of a rookie wall, given he hasn't ever carried the workload this long. So maybe he pushes through it and Swift goes straight to the moon, and we'll be here to celebrate it if he does. But I don't mind this. This is pretty even. But Henry's 29, and
I know both of them have like a good playoff schedule, I guess. Sorry to cut you off.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
All right.
Later.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, drop that Wheel Snipe City emoji for our boy. Cole, you're from Indiana, right? You're live. You got 30 seconds, Cole.
It's me. Hey, I got Hurts on bye. Got Kyler Murray.
You sound like you're talking. It sounds like you're talking into a mug, like a coffee mug or something, or you're underwater.
Is that better?
A little bit. Go ahead.
All right, I got Hurts on bye, and I got Kyler Murray. I'm thinking about dropping him for maybe Sam Howell or Dobbs. What do you think?
I mean, Kyler Murray, Dobbs, Howell, those are all very close call players. I don't know that there's an easy answer here. And then we got weather we got to think about, which we'll have more info on tomorrow. But I would say, like, the problem with cutting Kyler is they're all three very close anyway. And if you cut Kyler, you're losing not only the trade value that he's going to afford you, but also what if he is a top 5-6 quarterback going forward and Hurts goes down and now you dropped Kyler because of a 1 week type of scenario. I would lean toward Kyler and just say, I think maybe he does pretty well. Dobbs is, kind of a fun play, but does he have huge ceiling value? I don't know. Howell, I mean, he's been really, really solid, but he can be up and down and has been up and down. And there's a point where people are like, okay, is Howell not the guy? And so it's not like he's been electric all year long. I'm going to roll with Kyler, but that's me. Is Howell safer this week? Yeah. But so if you could, cut somebody else and keep both and start Howell this week, I'm on board that train. But I don't think I'm cutting Kyler.
Mitchell.
I mean, there's, he's kind of exciting, man. I don't know if cutting Keaton Mitchell's the best move.
So I'm thinking. So maybe I'll try Kyler.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you. Later. Al from New York. You got 30. I'm strict on this one. Go.
I need help with two things. Then quarterback. Do I pick Levis or Jordan Love?
Probably Love. I mean, I know. Look, both have their concerns, man. I mean, Levis didn't actually come out and repeat what he did that first week, so let's not pretend Love's a scary option compared to him. Okay, go ahead. Next one.
Next one is I need help picking 2 wide receivers and a flex. There's going to be a couple of guys here. I got Metcalf, Addison, Tank Dell, Drake London, and Ramondre.
Addison, London, Ramondre. So DK, Dell, Addison, Mondre.
DK, Addison,
Dell.
DK, Dell.
All right. Listen offline, Al. I would say I would rank these. I'm going to rank these in order of Dell 1, DK 2, probably Man, I want to say Addison 3, but it's kind of a tie between these two as 3. Chat, can we get a vote on Addison or London? London or Addison, please. Ethan, the negative, 30 seconds.
Smitty, if you want to solve this Arthur Smith Bijan problem, Falcons owner Arthur Blank, he's got to take a page out of Donald Trump and the New Jersey Generals. You go down there at halftime and you tell the coach, you give the ball to Herschel Walker at the goal line or you're fired. It's that simple. That's all you got to do.
We know this, though. I mean, but no one's doing that. That's why we're not. That's why we're up in arms. Is it fixable? Yeah. Could I fix it? Yeah. I'll go out there and say, start Bijan, or you're done. But we're not hearing that. Blank's not doing that. Arthur Blank's not doing that. I don't feel like there's any pressure. I don't even know if the GM has control. I don't know if it's FedEx that's running this whole Mickey Mouse operation. Who the hell knows? You know. But they're not in good hands. They're not in good hands with Arthur. That's for sure. What's FedEx's slogan?
Ultra slow. I don't know.
What's Fed? Let me look up Fed. Ziggy, what is FedEx's slogan?
FedEx's current slogan is "The World on Time," which highlights the company's reliability and efficiency.
Oh my God, Ziggy off. Reliability and efficiency. The world on time. What kind of timing does Arthur Smith have? 0. Bijan on time. I want you to deliver Bijan on time, Arthur. All right, Ethan, we'll see you later. The world on time, my ass. Let's see here. We got Michael with a $2 hauler. I wrote wrong trade. Olave for Monty or Aaron Jones. Olave for Monty or Aaron Jones. Well, again, I'll rank them for you. I'll say that I feel like Monty, Aaron Jones, Olave is my order. Michael, that's my order. In order. That's how I view them. Tyler, $10 hauler. My boy Tyler to the moon. Appreciate you, Tyler. Thank you for your $10 hauler. Tyler says, Smitty, 10-team PPR, 2-player keeper league. I'm 3-6. I have Howell, Kyler, Ayuk, Ridley, Addison, Kyron, JT, Monty. Look, Pollard and JT and Kyron are fantastic. Monty's maybe expendable. I guess you could start 4 RBs. You're okay. But Monty, I mean, I think you do need a wide receiver upgrade. So I'm going to say like Monty and Deontay for Chase. Monty for Cup. Monty and something for Cup. Monty and Deontay for Cup. Monty and Deontay for Diggs. Monty and Addison for Diggs. Lamb for Monty. Monty and Deontay for Lamb. I think I'm going after a wide receiver using Monty personally. And get a player that, like, if Monty goes nuts, you're fine. It's a break-even situation because your player is going to do well as well. 10-team, 4 and 5. Thank you for the $10 hauler, my boy. Hassan coming in like a monster. QB, Murray, JJ, Olave, Amon-Ra, Kirk, Dell, Rice, Aaron Jones, Gibbs, Mitchell. I have Gibbs as a flex. Yeah, I mean, once you got JJ back, you got some flexibility. I think if you only start 3 wide receivers, you have some flexibility of trading Kirk, Dell, upgrading maybe, let's say, one of the RBs into, I mean, you could try and do this preemptively right now. You could trade Dell or Kirk right now to try and upgrade Jacobs into an Eckler or Aaron Jones into an Eckler or, an Achane. Like, would I take Dell and Aaron Jones or Kirk and Aaron Jones or Dell and Jacobs or Kirk and Jacobs and take it for Achane? Absolutely. Would I trade Jacobs straight up for Cooper Kupp? I would. Would I take Diggs and give Jacobs and Dell or Jacobs and Kirk? Yes. Would I trade Jacobs straight up for Lamb? Yes. Like, so those kind of moves, I think, potentially, if you're assuming you're going to be good to go, you can wait on JJ, and you might only be waiting a week. Hell, according to the questionable tag, maybe he plays this week. I doubt it, but trade JJ for Jacobs and Waddle. I'd rather have JJ. He's on the verge of coming back, Michael. I'm not trading JJ that low. Not that that's horrible, but, like, you waited this entire time. Why are we going to pull the trigger now on that? Traded Javonte Williams for Ridley. Needed a wide receiver. I could get behind either side. I think Javonte's fantastic. I think Ridley's fantastic. I think both have had pretty bad luck this year, and their situations hopefully change for the better. Appreciate my mod crew in here. I think I got Travis in here. I don't know who else is in here modding, but I appreciate my mod crew. Sick Nasty, Blackbeard, Terry Roberts. I think someone else is in here. We got Vampy, and hopefully Vampy's in here. Vamp is an amazing mod. I love my mod crew. My mod crew to the moon. If I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. Isaac, appreciate you in the building. Jacob's going to feast rest of season. He could be one of the better bounce back candidates due to this whole changing of the guard in Las Vegas for sure. I mean, there's definitely upside for that. Definitely upside. No Kirk for JJ though, says Space. No Kirk for JJ though. Yeah, that's true. But certainly not going to sell JJ off for a ham sandwich. I'm not saying JJ's a ham or Jacobs is a ham sandwich, but I'm definitely feeling JJ deserves more than that. Typing all. We've got to go on. No offense. Wish this Smiley had hair, says Superfish. Okay, Superfish to the moon. Appreciate you. Garrett Wilson and Kincaid for Breece Hall. I think I could take either side of that. Like, if you need a tight end and you got a lot of RBs, then that Garrett Wilson Kincaid side makes some sense. If you need an RB badly, Breece Hall's probably worth the slight overpay. Mod slipping, leaving you here alone. Yeah, the mods have been kind of distant lately. Blackbeard's in here. There he is, Blackbeard. Travis has been working overtime for sure. But Blackbeard, I think Blackbeard is in here sometimes quietly, just hovering, like a ninja. So Blackbeard's here. What's your thoughts on Pollard versus Kamara? Thank you, Perps. Appreciate the super. I'd probably say give me Kamara just because the production's been there all year. And yeah, we're a little worried, about both of them coming out of last week. But given how good Kamara's been, and given how much Carr checks down to him, given how much even in a bad game script Kamara can thrive, and we don't really know that Pollard can because we've seen him not thrive in bad game scripts. But so give me Kamara. But is there a world where Pollard outscores Kamara going forward? There is. Doesn't mean I'm paying for that opportunity, but if you gave me Pollard in a wide receiver I loved for Kamara, I would take the chance on Pollard. So Pollard has that capability of being that good, but Kamara's definitely getting the nod because Kamara's got the, Pollard's going to heed the road to him because Kamara's been doing it. But there's an argument there. Tyler, you got 30. Hello? Tyler, you got 23 seconds. You're wasting away your time. Tyler, you got 15. Tyler's gone. Tyler, you crapped the bed. Perps, by the way, we're going to be back to draft tonight. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. So please click this link right now and sign up. I'm going to put the link in the chat. I'm going to pin it in the chat right this very second. Link is going to be pinned here. Let me just click on it right now. Link has been pinned. We will be drafting tonight. So that means we might not go super, super long this show, and we'll come back and we'll do a draft session. Hit that. I'll hit you with a 3-team trade then, says Perps. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you. Perps to the moon. And Jonathan dropping a $10 wad on screen. Jonathan says 12-team, $10 hauler, Stroud, Purdy, IU, Kirk, Dotson, OBJ, Barkley, Mostert, Robinson, Ferguson. What trades to make? Trade Mostert. Yeah, you could. I don't know if anybody's going to necessarily overpay for Mostert right now. Look, your wide receivers, your quarterback, you'll be fine because I think you could just trust in Stroud and let that ride. Ayuk, Kirk, Dotson, not the greatest wide receivers in the world. Barkley, Mostert, I don't know that there's a lot. I'm just being honest, Jonathan. And by the way, Moonshot, $10 hauler. Thank you for the $10 hauler. All $10 haulers get Moonshots. There's a lot to be desired here. This is a tough team. You probably got hit by injury pretty hard. I would say, like, if you trade Mostert away, who's your RB, going to be? Barkley for Achane and something, you kind of need to do a divide and conquer, and you don't have a lot to even do it with. Like Barkley, if you could somehow, some way get I don't know. I don't even know. I don't think you can get like a Pollard. I don't think you can get a Breece Hall. I don't think you can get somebody like that and an additional piece. You might have to go just a tiny bit lower than that, but you need to get like 2 players for Barkley, and then you have a little bit more wiggle room to make the next trade. Mostert, I don't know what Mostert's going to get you on the fair market. Maybe somehow, some way you could get a Cooper Kupp using Mostert in a bench piece, but I don't know. I don't even see like what Dotson and Mostert for a Cooper Kupp, but then you're depleted even more. So this is a really tough one. This is a really tough one, Jonathan. Your best bet is to go get 2 players for Barkley somehow, some way, and maybe it's like a Ramondre and a wide receiver like Lamb. Like maybe you're trading Barkley for that, and somehow, some way, Ramondre just goes back to normal. Like you need a swing. That would be an interesting swing for you, Ramondre. But it can't be just Ramondre. You have to get Ramondre and a player and an absolute gem of a wide receiver. Chris from Indy, you got 30.
I got Hawkinson as my tight end, and Kincaid is on the wire. Pickens, do I drop Pickens or Gus Edwards to pick up Kincaid?
I mean, I don't love dropping any of these guys. I could see why maybe he's on the wire, because you got this very shallow benches. It sounds like a smaller league. So, like, what do you do here? Can you trade? I doubt you could even trade Kincaid, because if he's still on the waiver wire, no one needs a tight end. This is an 8-man or 10-man league.
10.
Because, I mean, no one's going after Kincaid. There's only one reason for that. Your league is a ghost town. You're playing with a bunch of corpses. Or everybody's got a tight end. And if you're playing with a bunch of corpses or everybody's got a tight end, no one's trading anyway, because they're either not breathing or they have a tight end and they don't need one. So, like, I don't even know if you could trade them.
Right, and I've tried to trade. And the one trade that I did do, I really screwed up. I feel I went after Eckler and I gave up Henry and A.J. Brown, and I'm really regretting it because of the A.J. Brown aspect of it. But
yeah,
I mean, what it is.
Look, this could have been a worse trade, I'll tell you that, but this definitely probably has hurt given how great he's played. But going forward, it might not be the worst thing in the world. Henry's playing, well enough, though. I'd definitely rather have this side in general, but this Eckler or this AJ Brown side. But my advice to you, bro, is try and trade Hawkinson. And maybe because he's a bigger name, you'll get some bites on that one, and then you pick up Kincaid and start Kincaid. That's my advice to you. I don't think you're doing anything with Kincaid because he's on waivers. No one cares, obviously, and they don't understand what time it is. But if you can trade Hawkinson for Cooper Kupp, Hawkinson for Breece Hall, Hawkinson for Achane, if you can trade Hawkinson and a player to get Achane, Hawkinson and a player to get Kupp, you got to throw somebody in like Pickens, whatever. I'd trade Pickens and Hawkinson for one player like that. Open up your spot and go grab Kincaid and start him. Make a splash.
Good. Do you think I've been holding on to Pollard? A lot of people are like just selling on him, and how do you feel about him?
We talked about him all show already, so definitely go back and rewatch it. But in general, he's a great buy low right now. Is there concern? Absolutely. But is he a running back one still? In my mind, yes. Could he lose that status in another 2 weeks after playing badly and they start running multiple RBs? Yeah, certainly. The risk is there, but I will buy Pollard all day long right now. His schedule opens up. I think he's going to be a very good second half of the season player.
That's what's up. All
right. Later, Chris. Later. Super chats. Let me get to these real quickly. We got a $20 hauler from Josh Daniel coming in like a monster. Perps coming in with a $20 hauler. You guys are going to get the bunk bed treatment here. I'm going to do $20 hauler for both of you. Push the bunk beds together. Let's celebrate as one.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Dollars to the left were for Perps. Dollars to the right were for Josh. Josh, Smitty, would you trade Deebo and Pacheco for James Conner and Javonte Williams? Hell to the no, Josh. I would rather have Deebo and Pacheco by quite a bit. James Conner could come into form and bounce back, and maybe Javonte becomes top 5 running back. Like we love the guy, so I'll be rooting for it. But I mean, you can't assume those things right now from Javonte and Conner. So even fair market value, even if we're wrong here and Javante's the best player in the deal 4 weeks from now, the fair market value here is awful for you. So that doesn't even matter what happens. You should be giving up a lot less. And so I'm going to say no for that reason. Plus, I love Deebo right now. I think Deebo's a fantastic player to have right now. I asked you about the AJB trade last night, but I'm thinking my Pollard and either Charbonnet or Noah Brown for his AJB. I would take AJB over Pollard for sure. I think every sane person would right now. Doesn't mean that Pollard can't be better than him going forward. Doesn't mean AJB won't get banged up and have knee issues or something that we always fear. And then, Pollard goes nuts on a tear. It's certainly possible, but would I take AJB? Would I throw in Noah Brown? I'd throw in 5 Noah Browns. I could care less about Noah Brown. He's going to do maybe well this week with Nicco out. He could have another good game, but he's not anything. It's going to be more than a 2 or 3 week, thing. He's not going to be consistent all year, I don't think. You never know, but then would you trade AJB for Kamara in a second piece like Tank Dell or Watson? Probably not. I'd rather have AJB over Kamara right now. I mean, AJB's playing that good. So AJB's the best player in all of this, but I would certainly go get him for Pollard. But if you don't sell Pollard on the cheap as if Pollard's nothing. He's certainly a great player going forward in my mind. Traded Brandon Ayuk and Sutton for HN. I don't like that at all. I love it.
Got him.
You've just been Smitty.
That's a fantastic trade. HN to the moon. Jamal doing Jamal things out there. Jamal stock going up today. The HM maneuver was nice. Crazy to start Christian Watson over Jacoby? No, I don't think so. Christian Watson is going to blow up at some point. It's just a matter of how many people will finally bench him all the way across the board. He has 150 and 2 scores. It's happening. The guy's getting targeted like crazy in the end zone every game. It's going to happen. I know it is. I'm not saying I'm happy about any of it. It's unfolded horribly. Sit Jones for Rashad White or Javonte? No. Aaron Jones, easy peasy, bro. We're not sitting Aaron Jones. He's just getting going, baby. He's just getting going. Dell or Monty? Monty safer. But honestly, Charles, I'd find a way to play both of them. Monty's safer, though. Traded T-Law and Christian Watson for Kyren. How did I do? I think you smashed it. I think you got him.
Got him.
I think that's a phenomenal trade. My QB is Burrow. Current running backs are Gibbs, HN, Kyren, Pollard. Trade any wide receiver. Devontae Adams, T, JJ, Ayuk, Rice. My QB is Burrow. Current running backs are Gibbs, HN, Kyren, Pollard. Trade anyone for a wide receiver. I'd probably say maybe Gibbs. Maybe Gibbs and I love Devontae. Maybe Gibbs and... You know what? I don't know. If you can start all of them, I'd say don't trade them. If you can start Gibbs, HN, Kyren, and Pollard, but if you can only start 3 of them, which I assume is probably the question here, then I want Kyren, I want Pollard, I want HN. And I like Gibbs a lot, but Gibbs has some intriguing value. Pollard doesn't. Kyren, I think you keep him. HN, you keep him. So it comes down to Pollard and Gibbs. It's not that I want to trade Gibbs over Pollard, but Pollard can't be traded very well. So Gibbs still has some intrigue. Maybe Gibbs and Ayuk can get you Cooper Kupp. Maybe Gibbs and Ayuk can get you Lamb or Diggs. Maybe Chase injured, and you take that gamble. That's probably what I would do. Gibbs for one of those guys. But I think it'd have to be a big name player. I'm not trading him for like a middle of the pack wide receiver. You know, like even Deebo, Gibbs for Deebo. I'd be tempted to like do it for Deebo and something, but it'd have to be something significant. It can't. I like Deebo a lot though. That's not the worst idea if you could get something else with it. Lineup is Howell, Jamal, or Javante, Stevenson, McLaurin, Dell, Kincaid, need a flex. Dotson, Douglas, or Charbonnet. Go Dotson. He's been going crazy, man. Douglas is okay. He's safe, but give me Dotson. And Douglas has been injured too, but give me Dotson. He's been going crazy. Been going nuts. All right, dial in a couple more phone calls.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Christopher Smith phone line is open. Wheel Snipe City to the moon. All right, last 2 phone calls, and then we're out of here. We'll be back to do drafting tonight. And we'll be back to draft tonight. Appreciate you all. Did you all win last week? Abe says. Abe, we got so many leagues. You can't. Who can answer that question anymore, Abe? Did you win last week? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, 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 yes, no. All my leagues. There you go. No one plays in one league anymore. You can't possibly win every game anymore, Gabe. Abe to the moon. Appreciate you, Abe. Can't even start Dotson, says Joel. That's rich person problems there. Dell, Olave, or Adams pick 2. You can't. I mean, Adams shouldn't even be in this conversation. So between Dell and Olave, I guess I go Dell over Olave, but it's pretty close. Very close. 818 caller. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
From California.
Chris from California. What's up, Chris? What can I do for you?
I need to pick 3 running backs. I got Brees Hall, Kamara, Gibbs, and Monty. Who should we sit?
Hall, Kamara, Gibbs.
Gibbs and Monty.
It's so easy to say, oh well, Monty's going to be maybe slow moving his first game back. Remember that massive thigh injury? It looked like a torn knee, torn ACL, and he went out for multiple games, came back his first game back, career carries.
Yeah, 30 points.
So I'm not like very keen on sitting Monty, even though I love Gibbs. But you need to make a trade. I'd probably say Hall, Kamara, Monty. You could put Hall on the bench and go Gibbs, Kamara, Monty, but that's really hard to do. I would probably put Gibbs on the bench this week, or it's between Gibbs and Monty. Chad, are we starting Gibbs or Monty if we're choosing? Can we get a chat vote on this? It's a tough one, man. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm ready to give you an answer, because I think we need to hit this a little later in the week. If I had to choose right now, if you guys can mute real quick, I think it's Theo that's got some background noise there. Just mute real quick. Same thing with you, Stan. Sounds like you're on a airplane. I would say for right now, maybe we lean Monty.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, he'll get the touchdown work. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Chris. Hey, Theo. I think your mute's broken.
I'm muted, Smith.
I think your mute's broken, Theo.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Stan?
What's up, Smitty?
Is Stan, is your mute broken? Theo.
Background noise?
Theo, are you in the car, Theo? Just answer that question.
No, I'm on the couch.
Okay, Stan, are you in the car?
Yeah, it's me. Hold on.
Oh, it's Stan. I'm sorry. Theo, my bad. I'll take a lap. Damn it, Theo. All right, Stan, you're okay, Stan. You don't have to pull over or anything like that. I just had it wrong. I thought Theo was in the car. You just must have unmuted it right when Theo entered the chat or the call. Let's go over to Stan real quick while he's driving. Stan, be careful while you're driving there, pal. What can we do for you, Stan, quickly?
Hey, what's up, Smitty? I just got a question for my flex it's a half PPR league. Would you go Javante, Williams, or Tank Dell?
Javante or Tank? I would go Tank with Collins out, But I love Javonte this week, but I feel like there's a little more uncertainty with that situation. You know, like we're pretty hopeful, but do we know? Like, do we really know? We don't really know. We don't know. We don't know what the full volume is going to be. Tank Dell, we know. Tank Dell is the man. Tank Dell's been blowing up. Tank Dell to the moon. Let's go Tank Dell. But anything could happen, bro.
And obviously, I have Chris Olave in my wide receiver 2. Not going to mess with that, right? Leave that there. And probably go Tank Dell and bench Javonte.
Yeah. I put Javonte on the bench this week,
man.
but bro, that could backfire. I mean, it is what it is. All right, thank you, Stan. Theo, quiet Theo. My bad, Theo. It was a bad guesstimation by my part. It's just when you got added to the call, Stan was already on the line, and when you got added to the call, it went, and it was like, go ahead. What can I do for you, Theo?
Would you start Kyler or Dobbs at QB, and at flex, would you do Pollard or Olave?
Pollard or Olave. I'm gonna go Pollard. That's tough though. I mean, you can't start
Kyler.
both. You can't start both of them. That's so hard.
No, I have. If Chase is injured, I can.
Yeah, I mean, I would go Pollard. Look, Chase might be pretty banged up, so we'll have to see if maybe Olave is a safer start. Let's attack that one later in the week. But right now, I'm going to say Pollard. And for me, I go Kyler. But I mean, Dobbs is probably a tiny bit safer. He's an exciting player for sure. But I'd probably go Kyler. But I mean, I don't know. Chat, would you start Dobbs or Kyler? Can you vote on this one, please? Let's help out Theo. That one's tough. I mean, Kyler's been a top 5-6 quarterback. Like, he scores like 20 points a game fantasy wise. I mean, it's just he's been amazing. Coming back from the ACL tear is obviously a concern, and we don't know what he's going to do game 1, and maybe he goes out there and craps the bed. But I lean Kyler slightly. He's got the running capability. Obviously, ACL, they're going to probably run him as little as possible, but you never know. Kyler is looking like he's getting the early vote, but the votes are just coming in. So check the chat. Appreciate you, Theo, and call back when you finish.
Thanks, Mitty.
Call back tonight. All right, later. Travis from Arizona, last caller. What can I do for you?
Calendar Schmidt, how you doing today? I just wanted to say, just real quick, I think Monty is probably the better start over Gibbs. And just to say, Kyler's going to be at home. So, and they're going against Atlanta's defense. So I think Kyler is easy over Dobbs. We know what Dobbs is. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But, for me,
there's just the ACL concern.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just go ahead.
They took their time. They took their time bringing him back. You know what I mean? So.
But it will be his first game.
You know, yeah.
But he's a fun risk though. But yeah, Monty and Gibbs. Those are both good plays too. So.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right for sure. So the only thing that is for me, I picked up because I ended up trading Dell away to get Keenan Allen, but because of the fact that they've got a lot of hurt guys over there, so I got Ridley and Metcalf, which have both been underwhelming for me, and I've got Noah Brown, which I know he's coming off like a crazy game. So I'm just wondering what you think. Would you say that I should just stay packed with DK and stay packed with Ridley, or should I take a chance with Noah coming off that huge game? I mean, I know what you're probably going to say, but I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for wanting to go Noah Brown, and he's probably relatively safe. He's probably like good for like 10 points, I imagine, in PPR.
Just because of the QB, just because Stroud has been so good. Geno's trash, you know, and Stroud has just been so good. You know?
I would go DK and Ridley personally, but what could I waver and change my mind last second? Sure, like bring it back maybe later Saturday or something, and we'll talk about it tomorrow night.
For sure.
But I think chat vote on this one. Would you go Noah Brown, or would you put Noah Brown in?
DK's been tough. You know, Geno has been really, really just cheap. And Ridley, I think when they get that other wide receiver, I don't know if
Zay.
Flowers or no, it's not Flowers.
Zay Jones.
Yeah, Zay. I think when Zay was there, it just opened up everything for Ridley. So I'm hoping for that bounce back. And DK. I mean, DK is getting a ton of targets. So I'm just hoping that they end up. I need to make a run, so I don't want to be too cute and start Noah Brown and then get 5 points. So I don't know.
I mean, I go really in DK, but let's see what the chat thinks. It's certainly not crazy.
Right.
Noah did good enough last week, and with Nicco out, he's certainly going to have opportunities, so it's not crazy. All right, appreciate you, man. Later.
Okay.
Look to the chat. They'll give you a vote here. Later. I'll see you guys all later tonight. Perps with a $20 hauler. Perps to the moon. Perps, $20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps, appreciate you with the 20 wad on screen. Perps says, so then I needed to just keep Pollard because then I have Sharps, Connor, and Spears and Tank Dell. So then I just need to keep. I like Pollard, man. I'm not getting rid of Pollard for garbage. Not saying that your offers that you were getting were garbage. I'm just saying I know a lot of people want to trade Pollard right now. I don't mind trading him, but I'm not trading him unless the situation is perfect. Start London. Thank you, Perps, for the $20 hauler. You're the man. Start London, Ridley in the rain, or Garrett Wilson. Probably Garrett Wilson. Slightly lean Garrett Wilson, but I do like Ridley this week. I still like him, but Hurts on a bye. Start Geno, Howell, Love, Dobbs, or Levis. Probably Howell, but we need to address all the weather for the QBs and kind of circle back, I think, tomorrow night. But Love feels maybe, I think Love is okay. I think he's going to have a decent day, but I think you got to almost lean Howell by default, just the way he's been playing. Stroud, Kyler, or Howell. I would go Stroud. I don't think you can sit Stroud right now coming off of, thank you for the $10 hauler person. Stroud's earned his start in those situations. And Alec, would you trade Andrews for JT? I would take JT over Andrews in a vacuum, and especially if you have Kincaid. So I totally, Smitty, approve that. Thank you for your $5 hauler. And Bleezo with the 20 watt on screen. Bleezo.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Bleezo, appreciate you. Bleezo says, Kyler, running back Brees, Walker, Gibbs, Achane. What could I trade for JT using Walker, or what wide receiver targeting Walker? Using Walker. So Walker and... So for JT, I mean, Walker and Watson. Honestly, Walker and DJ Moore for JT and something. I don't know if I'd give it for free. I keep Brees. I keep Achane. I keep Walker, Gibbs, Achane, and Brees if I can start all four. But if you can't start all four, then yeah, I mean, trading Gibbs for JT, Gibbs and DJ Moore for JT maybe. But I mean, you're trading for JT. Can you use 4 running backs? Because, Walker and Gibbs for JT and something, if you need to dial down your RBs to 3. Ramondre and Walker for JT is okay. I don't know that JT's a lock to be better than Walker, though. I just want to let you know that. Like, I know you want me to give you a solution, but I don't know this for sure. That JT's going to be better than Walker. I think Walker's still got a lot to prove to people. I almost wonder if you could go get like a Cooper Kupp or Lamb or Chase using Walker, even if you throw in a Watson, something like that. I wonder if that would be a better use of your trading away of Walker versus going after JT. I think you could definitely use an Devontae Adams. I'd trade Walker for Devontae Adams for your team. It was my Pollard and a second piece for AJB. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Perps. I'm sorry. I mean, I'd rather have AJ. So yeah, in that scenario, I'd rather have AJB than Pollard, but it depends on what you got to give up. But I certainly think Pollard could be as good as AJB going forward. It could be, not for sure, not drafting that way, not valuing it that way. I want AJB over Pollard. I do, but I'm just saying Pollard could be as good. I just think people need to back up off the Pollard's garbage stuff that I think a lot of people are cranking out content-wise right now. AJB is definitely better, though, at this moment in time. Just depends on what you got to give up, Perps. But I would rather have AJB. Just to clarify. Thank you, Perps. Thank you to everybody. Hit the like button on the way out the door. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be doing Underdog Fantasy drafts tonight. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. That link is in the live chat pinned. It's in the description of every video, including this one. Code Smitty essentially does the same thing. It doubles your first deposit up to 100. So use code Smitty. Drop the link in there. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all tonight on Underdog. Thank you for my super chatters. Thank you to Perps. Perps is dropping fire tonight. Perps, appreciate you. Bleezo, $20 hauler. Perps, $20 hauler. Perps, $20 hauler. Josh Daniel, $20 hauler. Alonzo, $20 hauler. My boy Alonzo, thank you. I appreciate you, Alonzo. Alex, $20 hauler. G-Money, $20 hauler. Mike Powers, $20 hauler. I'll see you all tonight. Drafting tonight live. See you there. I'm struggling with Stroud or Howell. Smitty says Stroud, so I guess I'll have to go that route. Well, hey, chat, vote Stroud or Howell in the chat, please. Help Perps out. Perps has been dropping $20 haulers and fire all night long. So if you guys could please vote for Perps' question, Howell or Stroud. I say, how do you sit Stroud? How do you sit him? I don't think you can. So that's my take, but vote, please. See you all tonight.